Hey everyone, we're here today checking out the demon slaying action in NeverDead. I'm Carolyn, I'm here with Sterling.
Hi there.
And Sophia.
Hey.
Yay. So we're checking out the latest demo. Let's see, how familiar are you guys with this game?
Somewhat. I heard about it at E3. I know that Konami's the publisher, Rebellion's the dev on it.
Yeah.
That's about all I know, too, and that you can dismember yourself, clearly.
Yeah, I think that's the main selling point of the game. So right now we're seeing Bryce, the protagonist. He's an immortal demon hunter, and he can detach his head to solve various puzzles, it seems like.
And you just roll.
Yeah, I love the rolling mechanics. It really feels like you're actually rolling a head, like it's not just like a spherical ball.
His hair and everything, his nose, all those features get in the way.
The imperfections of the oval.
And I love the like purple guts. I feel like we're on like kind of like low gore mode sometimes in this game. Like it's kind of it has a weird balance of really gory moments and then
Like water.
Yeah, it looks like we're on like sweat mode in Mortal Kombat or something. Like, but there's plenty of gore still. But so yeah, he started off as a human. The backstory goes, but he went after a demon that was too big. He got a little cocky, a little arrogant. Went after this demon that was a little too big for him to take on, and that demon killed his wife and then punished him. Well, that was punishment enough, I suppose, but sentenced him to immortality so he could think about what he had done. And so he's working for some demon hunting agency, and he's got a partner, Arcadia. She's kind of the AI partner in the game. You'll see her pop in and out, but she's mortal, so you kind of gotta
keep an eye on her.
Yeah, keep an eye on her, watch her back.
As you're saying that, there we go.
As his arms go flying everywhere. So yeah, you can roll to recover your body parts. Uh-oh. And even though he's immortal, there's still a couple ways you can get game over. You game over if she dies, if she goes down and you don't revive her quickly enough, or if his head gets detached and one of those monsters eat his head, he'll be sentenced to a, I guess, eternity inside the stomach of that nasty demon.
Ew.
So it's a Sarlacc pit that adds insult to injury.
Yes, exactly.
But there's like a little mini game so you can get out of it.
Yeah, it's that little timing rhythm game that's actually quite tough. I think right now he's one leg hopping around. For an immortal, he's surprisingly fragile. He like busts apart if you like look at him the wrong way.
He just disassembles when he gets swiped.
It doesn't help that those demons, they're called spoons, have huge like blades that they use to decapitate him. So that's not really helping
And those
matters.
small gremlin things are the ones that try to eat his head?
Yeah, and those, they don't actually do damage to you when you're whole. They just kind of wait around.
Yeah.
And they're particularly annoying because they're smart enough to like wait by his body because they know that you need to reassemble yourself. So that can get pretty annoying. But let's see. Oh, he's got to go after that womb over there in the corner. There's levels where the enemies just keep respawning it if you don't go after that.
Wait, it's called a womb?
I think it's called a womb. Because
that totally makes sense. The other guys are called spoons.
Yeah,
It all rhymes.
I love the cute names. Did I say those? I haven't seen a puppy in a couple seconds, but there's also puppies that are like little dogs. And
you're getting XP as you go, too.
Yeah, so there's two ways to collect XP. By killing enemies and then also by collecting little red collectibles throughout the game. Earns you XP, and then with the XP you can equip upgrades to Bryce, like, you know, better gun power, better melee power,
better rolling mechanics.
Better rolling mechanics for the head. There's like a high jump.
Oh, so that's what happens when you don't pass the mini game.
I feel like the checkpoints are pretty good in this game, though. I never got kicked back too far. I love how he just keeps going when his arms are gone. Those are the puppies, yeah. Oh, yeah, so he's also got this sword. I found that the melee attacks were quite useful. Probably his most useful attack in this demo. But yeah, you can hit triangle to go into sword mode, and then just move the right stick to swing your sword around. And there's certain enemies that are more vulnerable to the sword attacks as opposed to the gun attacks. But the guns I found were really useful for. There's a lot of destructible. Like, all the environments in this game are destructible.
Oh my god, he's
breakdancing. Oh my god, no!
He's totally breakdancing on his limbs.
That is really bizarre.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get stuck on debris when you're
how do you roll with a leg and an arm attached?
Yeah. But so if you can't get back to your body like that, you can also just regenerate your entire body after a couple seconds. There's that demon eye in the lower right corner of the screen will pop up when you're decapitated or missing limbs, and you can just hit L3
I see.
to regrow your entire body or whatever limbs you're missing.
Oh, so once it glows, you're eligible.
Yeah, exactly.
To regen.
Yeah, so right now we could click L3 and he would grow that arm back, which is really handy sometimes.
Yeah, so
but it's also difficult because it takes a couple seconds, and when you're under like heavy attack, like we are now, sometimes you just don't have time to wait that long.
Now, in terms of camera, I mean, it seems like the camera's a little bit fudgy once he's in head roll mode versus action mode.
Yeah, I really struggle with this camera, especially when he's in head mode. It's kind of all over the place sometimes.
Not quite as smooth as Katamari then.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. I don't really want to know what his head would pick up if he were Katamari.
Gross.
Lit balls.
Oh no, there's a Swordpig.
Oh, is this the boss fight of the...
Yeah. I don't think we're quite there yet. He's kind of teasing us. I think here's another electricity-based puzzle. I think we've got to go over to that that glowing fuse box over there after we're done
testing out
the controls.
Testing out the controls.
Yeah.
Yeah. The destructible environments aren't just for show either. Like you can also use the the falling debris and stuff to do enemy damage as well, which is kind of cool. And that's another thing you can upgrade if you want to. The amount of damage debris does to enemies. Okay.
Alright, so
nice elevator music.
So he's electrified. So electricity plays a role in, I guess so he exploded himself in the other one, and in this one he used electricity to start the elevator?
Yeah, so I think a big part of, like his immortality plays a big part in the gameplay, and I think he'll take a lot of abuse to do things to progress the game, like we just saw him becoming electrified to power up the elevator, and there's other times where you can actually light yourself on fire. And uh-oh.
Sounds totally sick, twisted, and hilarious.
Hilarious. Oh no.
So he can set himself on fire and like set other enemies on fire?
Yeah, you can set other enemies on fire. You'll also gain fire bullets when you're on fire.
Oh, nice.
And then sometimes what I thought was pretty clever was if it's a dark room, you can set yourself on fire and actually use yourself as like a literal human torch to see where you're going.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's like a boss battle. Yeah.
Oh, no. Wait, no arms and no legs. Does he have the crawl by his chin and his nose animation?
And then those guys won't just eat your head; they'll eat your limbs too, so that to force you to regenerate.
Oh, I see.
Right, and you're on that time limit to regenerate.
Yeah, which is quite inconvenient when there is a huge boss trying to get at you.
And you can like throw your limbs, right? Like detach.
You can, yeah. So you can rip off your own arms and head and throw them at things. And then there's also a power up where you can use your arms as grenades, which is really handy when you're against those puppies we saw earlier. They do act like dogs, and you can actually throw your arm and have the puppy chase it and then detonate the arm while it's in the puppy's mouth, which is pretty brutal. I feel kind of bad because I'm like, oh, doggy. No, doggy. But, you know, do what you got to do to survive, I guess.
So this is the Swordpig.
Yeah, the Swordpig, so seems like he has a glowing weak spot.
It's like cartwheeling with one leg.
Yeah, you have to do the combat roll to...
That's a skill they don't teach at the Demon Hunting Academy.
Yeah. that looks brutal.
So the game definitely indicates to you, hey, just in case you hadn't noticed.
Kick it in the butt.
Attack its glowing butt point.
I think he's kind of cute. He reminds me of like a Pinata from Viva Pinata.
A little bit, yeah, the colors and...
I always wonder on these bosses too, like, is he the last of his kind? Like, are we...
Are you making the Swordpig extinct?
Yeah. I feel like the world would be a little bit less interesting with without the Swordpig.
Demon Swordpig.
Oh, hey. I'm sure Demon Swordpig would make a delicious roast.
Pork chop.
Exactly, that's why you're attacking pork butt.
That charge attack is pretty brutal.
Yeah, it seems pretty hard to dodge there.
Yeah.
Oh, but dodged it there.
Shiny rear end.
Alright,
shiny rear end.
That's the weak point.
Just in case you hadn't noticed.
And I mentioned it 3 times.
At least you won't have any problems figuring out what it is you need to do.
Oh.
Yikes.
So this is
Round 2.
Second phase.
Yeah. Thanks, Arcadia.
Question is, does Swordpig have the 3-tiered Zelda structure?
Yeah.
Is Arcadia even doing any damage at this point?
Probably not. I don't think, from what I've seen so far, the guns don't do a lot of damage against enemies. Like, I mostly use the guns to destroy environmental stuff. But I think later on you get better guns. And you can toggle your guns with the D-pad. He dual wields, so you have 2 guns at any given time.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
All right.
All right, trying it again. Already lost an arm.
Hey, off to a great start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at it, gameplay-wise, it reminds me a little bit of Devil May Cry. Are there any other games that it really that it really evokes, like, artistically, gameplay-wise?
Artistically, well, artistically might be a strong word, but style-wise, aesthetically, it does kind of remind me of Shadows of the Damned. I think they're kind of going for that same humor angle of, like, kind of an anti-hero, and it seems like Bryce and Arcadia, they aren't, even though they're partners, they're not really friends, they kind of have a banter back and forth, and I just get that kind of like, not lowbrow humor approach, but not taking itself too seriously, I guess.
Yeah. I guess you can't, since you're rolling around as a head.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how do the controls feel? Like, do you like the way the sword controls? Because you are using the analog stick to swing.
Yeah, I feel like the sword works fairly well because there's a targeting system. If you hold L1, you can target, although you can't target his butt, which kind of sucks. This is a hard game to get a good read on by only playing it for like an hour or 2, because the controls are really complicated because there's so much you can do. Like, you can tear off your left arm, you can tear off your right arm, you can throw your arms individually, you can detonate them individually, you could rip off your own head and throw it. You know, you're dual wielding, you've got the sword, you've got the combat roll, you can jump, there's a lot of stuff, you can regenerate. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it just takes a while to get acclimated to all of that. But yeah, I don't feel like it's as smooth as, like, say, a Devil May Cry game. Like, you can't just, toggling between your guns and your sword. It takes a second. But yeah, what would you say, Sterling?
I mean, just my gauge of it has that feel, like, in terms of just kind of that high pace switch between your sword play, your gun play, but it doesn't necessarily seem as smooth as, like, either DMC or a Bayonetta, but it seems like that's what they're kind of trying to evoke with it, with its own twist. But the camera seems like it's not really working with you as much as you working around you. I mean, I guess it's something you could toggle in the options mode, but defaulting, it seems.
Yeah, part of the thing too is that this is kind of a limited demo. Like, we don't really have the options that you'll probably have in the full game to adjust things like the camera. But like in this demo, the camera does feel a bit slow. I have trouble getting it to keep up with the action sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh no, roll
you're
away.
stuck in a corner there.
But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel as, you know, technical as something like, say, Bayonetta.
Almost dead.
Definitely not. Even though it is a rather complicated game to
shiny
pick up.
rear
Oh
end.
gosh, yeah, we got it.
Just keep firing.
Yeah. But it definitely doesn't feel as, you know, hardcore, despite the involved control scheme.
So yeah, so the combat system doesn't really, from what you've played, it doesn't seem to offer necessarily the same levels of depth that you would see compared to either of those games I mentioned.
Yeah. But by the same token, it's also not as punishing, I don't think.
Okay.
Like for example, the
makes sense.
ammo is super plentiful. Like we never had any issue running out of ammo or you know, having a crazy checkpoint. The checkpoints are quite good, at least. And the fact that he doesn't really take damage so much as fly apart every time.
Deal with it.
Yeah, he deals.
So there's plenty of ammo pickups, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
all over the place
yeah.
for this song. Wow.
Yeah, and he starts with so much ammo anyway that it's not usually a problem. He's picking up XP. Oh yeah, oh duh. Hello.
Oh,
R.I.P. Swordpig.
Actually, that's what made me think of Lost Planet. That's what it was evoking for me. The
Oh.
core.
That's
The thing has a
interesting.
Lost Planet butt.
Yeah, he does.
No, wait.
Who's this guy?
Stylish.
Oh. Wait. So it's like Ryu Hayabusa with fabulous hair.
What's up, Alex?
So, where's your new partner?
Tough break. He was hit by a stray knife I threw. Purely unintentional, you know.
You killed another partner?
Accidents happen. No big deal, right?
Isn't that the third one?
Well, I've always
He kills his partner, he has terrible hair, he's red. Something tells me you'll be facing him towards the end of the game. Just call it a feeling.
Seems sinister.
Yeah.
Well, he's an immortal too. So, by the way, do you know you're bleeding?
Yeah, I got nicked in the
Okay, that's
side
hardly
hole.
bleeding.
Not really.
Should've worn pants though. Sweater
It's
dress.
not going anywhere near my wound.
How's your hair stay
Come
so?
on, this
Yeah.
is a miracle cure, baby.
So this is what you were talking about the kind of the banter between the two of them.
Yeah.
Heading home.
Hey, what about my payment?
I'm off the clock now, pal. We'll talk about it next time you're at HQ.
Oh snap.
Kind of a jerk.
Alright.
Yay,
Saw the
so-
demo.
Yeah, so NeverDead comes out January 31st. We just got official word on that for 360 and PS3. So yeah, look for the full review on GamesRadar.com.